The next video you see will be this car running. Guaranteed. Come hell or high water, this thing's gonna run. Okay, so what have I done today? So I got the quarter panels in, and then I got my shitty seats in that don't match. If you can see the color difference. So Chrysler didn't call that cream, even though it's a cream color. They called it white. That looks like white. So I gotta recover the seats in that Chrysler white, which is actually cream. So anyway, it's time consuming to get all this stuff in and find the screw holes and get everything lined up. Anyway, I cleaned the seats off the best I can, but they are what they are. So now I'm sitting here going, well, I'm sure proud of myself. Maybe I ought to just sit in that seat for a minute, but that's like sitting on the bench seat in like a little teeny Ford effing Ranger extended cab. Ain't much there. I wouldn't want to ride very far in that. Look at the length of the back compared to the bench. That's crazy. Anyway, what else have I done? I don't know. The little Dodge is giving me fits now. I think I gotta have an alternator for it. Battery crapped out. Now the alternator's crapped out. Maybe the battery crapped out because the alternator's crapped out. So I could get the vacuum all the stuff up. I could probably get my center console in and get the shifter down permanently. I got the kick panels on both sides. Those are bolted up. I've got a slight carpet problem here. I need to do a little adjusting, fitting. But I'll get her whipped. I'll get its ass whipped right now, I'll tell you what. Yeah, what else? I got these plastic sheets that go over these, and when I put them on the back there, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to take that sound deadener mat and put on them. So I did that. So I probably need to put the plastic on there and the sound deadener. Okay, I got the little Dodge fixed. Had to put a new alternator on it. Those are a bugger to get out. You have to undo the dipstick, hold down, undo the AC hoses and get it out and pry it between the hoses and the fan guard. It's a bear. That is a brand new alternator. That's not a reman, brand new. Anyway, fired it up and it started charging. So I had two problems: a bad battery and then the alternator. So I had a spare battery over there. This came out of the camp trailer, still good, but the other one was a Napa battery. I think it had some warranty on it, but it had two bad cells in it. Just when it was cold, it just didn't want to crank over, and didn't have any problem with the alternator the whole time that battery was in there. But as soon as the battery went bad, then it started doing all kinds of weird stuff. Charging, it'd go clear like over to 18 volts. You'd shut it off, start it again, then it would stop doing that. Then it would go clear to 0 and your check gauge's light would come on. Okay, I can't stand it anymore. Unhooked the drive belt so I don't run the pump. I put gas in it. Got my other spark plug wire hooked up. Let's see if this thing will pump some gas up in the carburetor. Oh. Okay, is there gas in there? I think there is. Maybe. I don't know. Can't tell if there's any in them fuel glows or not. Doesn't sound like it. Beats me. Beats darnation out of me. Smells like gas, kinda. There we go. Gas. Gas. We got gas. Stand back. So I hit the ignition wire thing over here and unplugged it. I hope I didn't dick up the ends or pull the wires out. So hopefully I have spark. Do I have spark? Yeah. Stick your finger in there, man. Okay, I got, let's see, this is 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. God, we're leaking gas here. What the crap's going on there? Yeah, that's loose. That ain't gonna work. Can't be leaking gas all over. That's snug. I wonder if I can make her crank from here. I bet I can. All I need is a jumper wire. Here. So, contact. Let's see if the ignition box flashes. Yeah, she's hot. Shit, ran on ether the other day. What the hell? Can't believe that. I pumped enough gas in it. Sure, the crap ought to be going, shouldn't it? Huh. Unless you don't have no spark. Damn it. Well, we're going to be putting a battery charger on it now. I do not know why we don't have fire. I don't really want to get shocked. Do you? Oh, man. What the hell? Smells like gas. Smells like a lot of gas. I don't know. Put the battery charger on it. Can you believe that? All I did was just short it over and fired up. That is unbelievable. Yahoo. Well, my oil pressure gauge works. Oil pressure was coming up. What kind of... I don't see any leakies. That's awesome. So, I just got to get some power steering hoses built. It's been a long time since it ran. Long time. That's awesome. That is awesome. Will it start again? Will it? Will it? Will it? No. You know, I think it might have a problem. Because watch this. So, if I'm cranking on it, it won't fire. But if I short out the solenoid here, it fires. So, apparently, I got a problem. What would that problem be? I don't know. Seems like somebody else had that problem. Every time they'd let off the key, I can't remember. That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to do some studying. So I made quite a bit of progress on the Challenger. Interior's kind of time consuming, but I got my rear seat in. I just cleaned it up. I got the quarter panels in and everything. And I got it to start, but I have a problem. Small one. So when you crank on these, this pink wire is the ignition feed to the Mallory ignition box. And then there's a little brown one over here that is supposed to go to the ballast resistor, but it doesn't have one. And when you start cranking, it kills all the power to this wire. But when you turn the key to crank, this one goes hot. So I think what I got to do is I got to hook it into the pink one. I'm going to have to call American Auto Wire. The guys from Mallory told me, oh, don't worry, you don't need that brown wire. But on a Mopar, I think you do. So I'm thinking about pulling this pink one out of the bulkhead and then poking the brown one in there with it. I don't think it would cause a problem, but I've got to have power to the ignition box when I crank. And it was kind of funny. I cranked and cranked on it and couldn't get it to go. And then I thought, well, maybe I just need to blip the throttle. So I had a screwdriver over here, and I touched the solenoid wire to this hot terminal, and it just fired right up. Scared the tar out of me. But it runs, fired right up, runs good. One thing I did notice when I couldn't get it to run, I thought, well, let me go check the spark plug wires off the distributor. It's got the same firing order as the Chevrolet. It's 1843657 and lo and behold, I had some of them mixed up. I don't know why. But anyway, I fixed that, which was a good thing, or I'd probably had a backfire and had problems. I just put a little gas in it. It didn't take long to fill the carburetor. Anyway, so I got to figure that out tomorrow and get that wired up. As soon as I get that solved, then I can cover all these wires up and be done with that. I've found a stainless wiring kit, hose kit for my power steering and my brake booster. That's going to be about $400 for that. So I'll get that coming. I got a whole bunch of other stuff I ordered today from Classic Industries. so that I can continue to go. But one of the other things I got to do is, so Chrysler uses a 1/2-inch pipe thread fitting for the feed for the heater, and then the return is here, and that's only a 3/8. So I got to figure out what I'm doing here for heater hoses and how to get them out here. I don't really like the idea of running them up here. I'd really like to come out here somehow. Maybe I'll get some 45s and come out here and along and around and over to it. So I took the belt off so it wouldn't run the power steering pump, and I'm just tickled. I'm excited now. I'm hoping by the time another week or so I'll get those hoses and get that all built, get that all installed, and then I can get my brakes bled. And while I'm waiting for the hoses, I'll get the rest of the interior in, get my seats in, and I've got my glove box and my ashtray in here. But I bought a hinge for my glove box off eBay because there was no hinge in the box, and when I got the car there was no glove box on it, and the ashtray was, I think it was in there. But I've got to go visit my friends with the airplanes and see if they've got a rivet gun, because there's 3 little rivets that rivet the ashtray inside the mechanism there. So anyway, get that done. Anyway, I'm getting closer, getting way closer. Not a lot left to do now, so I am excited to get this out of here and get started on some big yellow iron. So, oh, wait a minute. I get this done, I got to get the Super Dodge in here. I've got my steering box here, the drag link assembly, the bumper's on its way. The only thing I don't have is a fender. David Klasky out of West Virginia's got 2 brand new OEM Dodge fenders, but he said he checked with them and there's 11 fenders left in the United States, and they're at dealers. So I need to call my dealer in town, see if they happen to have one, or if there's a dealer closer by, because of the freight coming from West Virginia. But I don't think it's that bad. I think the fenders weigh 29 pounds a piece, what David told me. So if I can't find one closer, I'm gonna send David a UPS tag to put on the boxes, ship them. So I'll have the Super Dodge in here fixing that. Anyway, I can get all this stuff cleaned up in here and make some room. So got to get rid of some motorbikes, 4-wheelers, snowmobiles, stuff. Just lots of stuff to clean up. I've just had so much car stuff here forever. I've got a couple of rear quarter panels I'm trying to get rid of. If somebody wants them, they're white. I bought those from year 1, and they are literally white, whereas the original panels, Dodge called them white, but they're not white. If you can see that, they're kind of a cream color. So I don't want the white ones, so if somebody wants them, I'll make you a screaming deal on them. So I'm going in the house and put my feet up. I got a smile on my face today. I'm going to connect my brown wire, which is the secondary feeder, whatever, to the ignition, because my problem is the pink wire on a Chrysler, they keel this main power feed to the Mallory ignition box when you're cranking, so you got to have juice to it. Now the ignition box has this great big red feed wire right here to it, And I called Wayne down in Los Angeles. He's been working on cars for 40 years, and he knows a lot of stuff. And so I asked him about it, and he pulled up his wiring diagram on it, factory one, and it looks like this isn't going to cause a problem, because you're going to back feed through this pink wire back up to the ignition, but in the cranking position it's disconnected, so it really can't back feed into anything. And since there's the Mallory ignition box has its own relay to pull voltage off this big wire to power it, it shouldn't be a problem. So what I've done is I've taken one of my terminals off. It's set up for a double wire setup, and I'm going to put it in here and then put this wire with it and crimp it and then tape it up good. So I got to go get my blue pliers for that one. Okay, there we go. Now get that brown one in there. How now, brown cow? Okay, that one's in there. Hope it's tight. I may need to, well, I'm going to crimp it here too. Crimp there, crimp there. I may go ahead and crimp it down on the smaller one to get it, make sure I've really got her good and taut on there. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So all I got to do, I could have cut this wire and then I could have got a shrink wrap on it, but I didn't want to cut it, so I'll just tape it good. Then I can pull my purple loom back up, I think. I kind of burnt that end and shrunk it a little, but we'll get it over it. There we go. There. All right, so now, and then all this stuff in here, I gotta, you probably can't see that. All this has got to get put in the loom, but I think I have enough of the black stuff. I'm not sure I can go all the way. I wish I could, but I'm not sure I can. I gotta get it all tucked in there somehow, some way. This one here, for some reason, I kind of shorted myself on wire. I may have to splice that one to get it over there where I want it. But I can do that later. Later, put it off, do it later. All right, now, shall we see if this is gonna work? So we'll give it a few blasts. Gas. Should go. fixed it. Boy, that gets hot in a hurry, that heat coming off those headers. I bet that burns my spark plug wires to death. Even though that's ceramic coated, man, that gets hot. Well, Jeff wins. That's all I can say. So I brought Mr. Griff out with me to turn down the furnace and make sure everything's off, and then go in the house and finish my video. So anyway, I'm pretty excited. Got my one problem fixed. Got my one door sheet on. But now I found out I got to order some clips that go on the underside of this panel and then poke into these holes, and they weren't on the old panels. So I got my center console in, but now I have to take it back out because the insert that goes in here has these clip nuts that go on there. You can't put them in from here. You got to do it from the underside. So back out and we'll get that fixed. Anyway, I got lots of stuff coming so I can get it finished. I still have not been able to get a hold of that outfit in Tennessee. I can't even remember their name, Hydro Boost or something like that. Anyway, I need to get those lines ordered, and they're not answering the phone. And I've sent them an email, and they said, you know, they get back within 24 hours to me, because you can't order the kit without talking to them first, because they custom build all this, so they got to know what you're using for booster and what you're using for steering box, so they can get you all the metric to, I think, JIC adapters. I've got a few in the box over here that came with the steering box, and I think that's why he sent them to me, is because that stuff's all GM, it's metric. So anyway, I got a big smile on my face. It starts up, it runs, you saw that. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe, because that helps old Jpaydirt grow. I know a lot of you don't like the car stuff, but that's what I'm working on. This has got to get done so I can get the D9 in here. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Wonder where Mr. Griffey went. Oh, he's clear over there. Did you find a bone, buddy? Oh, he's a funny dog.